Welcome. There we go. I fucked that one up.
Didn't have to say.
It was me the other week, and that was just glorious. That was so good.
Welcome, everybody, to another Thursday's live new teaching shows. I am joined by Matasaurus Rex, Dale the Tyrannosaurus Tobin, and Laura the Monster Hunter Massey. How does it go today?
Great. Yeah. Good to be here.
Great to be here, and I'm ready to lay the smack it down on some Federation of Light stuff. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Hello.
Maddie? You're muted.
Oh, that's why you didn't hear me when I said, yep, hello, everybody. I was talking at the beginning, and so there we go. That was my contribution. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sarah.
It's going to be a good one.
So everybody get your big old elbows up as we're going to lay the smackdown on today's show. Yes, we put out the Galactic Federation of Light word. Ooh. All you those there in the chat roomies, go onto that chat page and go, hey, what's that GFL really like? We're going to take a tour of the GFL today. And our GFL is an omnibus term. It is not the Galactic Federation, or the only. It is just a term we're saying for the good guys that are out there. And there are many good guys out there. So, Maddie, what are your views of the Galactic Federation like, so we can set a little information up for those people who are about to go on the tour with us?
So, as I understand it, there are many, many, many different federations. All of them have their own perspective, their own point of view. Because when you think about how many of these guys work together and how many different worlds and dimensions there are out there, it's so expansive. I've had communications with a few of them. And for the most part, the people that I speak to are quite benevolent. But their technology is so advanced that it's so difficult to bridge the gap between the two. That's my own personal experience. But I know that as far as the Galactic Federation of Light is concerned, that was something of a disaster for people around 2013, 2014, and maybe just after, myself included. And there was a lot of misinformation. But not only misinformation, people that were reading that information and channeling it were becoming overtaken by whatever sources.
Morons, you mean? Total morons?
Yes. And there was a lot of technology being used that was replicating actual clairaudient communication. And it becomes so damaging. Yes. But I know there are many federations out there of all different expressions, and many of them do have our best interests at heart.
Okay. So, a notice for everyone out there: if you are listening to somebody else channeling a being from the Galactic Federation of Light, the Galactic Federation of Light or any of those other guys will never tell you to invest in crypto or in gold or silver. If anybody's telling you to invest in crypto, gold, and silver, they're from this realm. I'll simply put it as that. Laura, what are your experiences? We did that Warriors of Twilight show. We did a previous tour. What was that like for you, and what you want to experience from the new one we're going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I knew nothing about the Warriors of Twilight. I virtually know very little about the Galactic Federation of Light because I was put off when I started listening to your material all those years ago. Of the sources that I've been listening to before, like, the Golden Age of Gaia and all that stuff. like you've just mentioned. So for me, almost the Galactic Federation of Light came under that banner, and I didn't know whether what I was hearing was my truth. So I've left all that well alone, and then you came up with Warriors of the Twilight, where I had a terrific experience. I loved it. And the only other experiences I've had, and I've no idea whether it is with GFL or not, and we've discussed it before, the dreams I've had where I've been on board ships, and also, yes, I have seen ships, and also I do a sun meditation, and every time I go to a ship that I'm on, and you and I have discussed that as well. But I haven't gone any further than that to know whether they're anything to do with the GFL. But as you say, the GFL is covering really all those groups, galactic groups, aren't there, that are trying to look after us on the planet.
Right. It's just an overarching term.
Yeah.
Okay. Dale, what about for you?
So back in 2012, I used to toss the salad quite a bit and listen to some of the so-called Galactic Federation channelings, which every week I put the channeling on and it was the same thing over and over again. The end was going to come near, the bank currency was going to be reset, the government are going to be taken over, so on, until the point where obviously I first listened to your Galactic History with Lance White, then that got me on to seeing what that was. Then through the many years, I've not really thought about them, but I feel that they're, like Maty says, a collective and many different aspects to the collective, and not just the word salad or the idea that the lightworking community is imprinted into a lot of people. And for going into the Warriors of Twilight as well, from the experience I had about doing that, was phenomenal. And I remember we didn't actually record it wasn't a show the first time we did this, and I was shown like a mushroom chamber with a very advanced psychic surgery chamber they were showing me. So for me, that was just opening so many doorways and pathways to what can be done. So really looking forward to where we're going to go, and like the space hotel we went to last time, just incredible. There's no expectation, there's just where we're going to go and what's going to happen.
So the way the structure is going to work, it's going to be like a guided meditation and tour at the same time. I will set up the guided meditation and take you on the beginning of the tour, and then we'll go to Maddie, to Laura, to Dale, each bringing part of their experience. We very much encourage you to add comments to the chat room. We know that this is a meditation. If you don't need to add it, if you don't want to add it right away, at the end of the show, come on and write down comments. We highly encourage. You absolutely can stick it to the algorithm when you hit the like and subscribe button, as well as comment. Let's say you don't want to hit the like button for whatever reason, go ahead and do a comment. You stick it to the algorithm every time you put a comment in there. So with that being said, get yourselves into a deep, relaxed state. Find your inner fluffy light worker. Pet them on the shoulder and go, "Light worker, protect me." We are going to go visit the Galactic Federation of Light. We're going to go on a tour of their place. Okay? So in your form of relaxation, whatever it takes, you receive a spiritual envelope. And inside that envelope is a 5D bus pass that will take you to your departing port. Okay? You go out to the edge of your driveway, and your 5D bus appears. Inside it is everyone that's listening to this show, past, present, and future. You're all greeted by a Galactic Historian, an exact copy of me driving the bus, and as your temporary tour guide. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Welcome to the Galactic Historian Tours. All of your baggage has been loaded, and your negative baggage has been left behind. Get yourselves ready. There's a drink waiting for you at your little seat. The bus starts leaving your driveway, and you go up into the sky, to the outer atmosphere, and a portal appears. And this portal takes you through a wormhole, traveling faster than the speed of light and thought until you come out the other side of the wormhole in the Centauri's sector. Okay? There are 31 planets in this solar system. And you're going to be going to the 11th planet in orbit from the sun rated out. This planet is Centauri's Prime. This planet has 5 moons. Okay, your bus comes closer and closer to this planet. Dale, describe this planet from a distance. You're muted.
So I can see like a ring around the planet, and I can see like a blue, grey, and white texture to it, and I can see one of those rings like on Saturn around it. That's what I can see.
Laura?
So for me, it's quite a golden ball, and the 5 moons are all equal in size.
Okay. I'm sorry, Maddie?
So, like Dale, I saw a blue planet, and just observing it from the distance, I could see kind of the ring structure, but it's more the energy that's coming off that's caught me.
Okay. So your bus arrives at a space station titled the Galactic Historian Hotel. Okay. You come out of their bus, and there's 1,000 of me's waiting for you. A porter, Andrew, a concierge, Andrew, Galactic Historian. 10,000 me's available to take care of your needs at the Galactic Historian Hotel. Okay? You're brought to your room. Okay? You guys have a few hours to relax here. Take this time to feel the energies of this space station. Dale, what do you feel from the energies of this space station?
I feel there's a lot of like still life within this space station. Like there's trees and there's plants and there's still life growing around it. It's just reminding me of a really nice hotel. Just that relaxing feeling as I go into it, a place just to wind down. I can see like the desk. I can see you in like a little suit greeting, and yeah, it just feels holiday, like that feeling when you go on holiday. But as I look outside, there's obviously things flying around, but there are trees here. There are like life which is being grown in here as well.
Okay, Laura?
So everything here, nothing has any corners or right angles. So everything is arched all round, even the desks. And the walls are made up of like some sort of crystal. It's very, very sparkly. And one of the themes of the hotel are these 5 moons. And the 5 moons are very significant. I don't know why, but I think all the moons have a different name, and different areas of the hotel are named after the different moons. It has a very soft, welcoming, excuse me, feel. There's a music playing that I don't recognise. It's like nothing I've heard before.
That's the Undescended Masters.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah. So I'll meet my other self later then. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So there's this beautiful music, and the air is like air I haven't, and I'm going to use the word tasted before or smelt before. It's a very different sort of air. It's almost like, you know, when it rains on Earth and you have that amazing smell of water on the earth, on soil. It's like a really extreme example of that. It's almost it's just such an amazing smell.
Wonderful. Maddie, for you?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not sure if they are got me on a holodeck or something like that, or if I'm exactly where I think I am, because I've been here before, and I've actually got a friend down the road, and this place where I am here, it's like more sort of touristy area, and they put me back in my old room, and so I've been to this place before, and I know some people around here, but I'm not sure whether I'm actually there or if they've put me in a hologram.
You're there.
Right, okay, cool. Yeah, I know this
You've been
place.
here before.
Yeah, yeah,
You've couch surfed here a few times.
yeah. I got friends here.
Okay. All right. So everybody that's listening, if you have a chance, go ahead and type something in the chat room if you'd like, or leave a comment later. So you're all been given the little sound. Please assemble in the teleporter room. Everybody on the Galactic Historian tour, assemble in teleporter room number 4. Okay? You all make your way to teleporter room number 4. And your guide, which is another version of me, comes up and greets each of you and says, we're now going to be visiting the surface of the planet, Centauri's Prime. This is an ancient world that has supported life since the dawn of time. This world is so old that even the ancients call this world old. Okay? You're going to be going to the North Pole here. You're going to be seeing this world's Aurora Borealis. You're going to be teleported down into a giant domed building that allows you to be able to look up. Okay? Everybody gets into their transporter and whoosh, you're down on the surface. The gravity feels light, almost as if you could lift up off the ground if you just give a little bit of a hop. The air is a sweet smelling, as if there's been bread baking in the ovens for centuries. You look up and you see an Aurora Borealis unlike you've ever seen before. Dale, describe the Aurora Borealis.
So when I'm seeing the Aurora Borealis, when I look up, I'm actually seeing lightning coming through it, and loads of different more expressions of light. There's all the colours and different expressions, and it feels like there might be another colour or a colour I've not perceived before. And I'm just seeing all of this like mist of the Aurora Borealis type thing going through, then lightning and different aspects of light. It's incredible, and I'm getting that feeling that it reminds me of I just get the word star watching planet. Like it's like you said, a very old, very, very old planet.
It's fair to say you have lived on this planet many times before. Laura, what about for you?
Yes. I got quite choked up when you were describing it and you were saying about how ancient it is, because I just feel like I've been here and I just feel like these people are my ancestors, or I know them. There's a softness to the touch here and there's a knowingness within me. And the Aurora Borealis is like nothing I've seen before. It's like it's sculpted by like some beautiful soft winds are sculpting it into all these colours, and then one of the colours becomes more alive than the other one, and then it fades into the next one like watercolours. It's just an absolutely just amazing and quite an emotional feeling for me to be here. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Maddie, for you?
The spiritual mechanics here are really different. It's the same but different. It's hard to explain. So as we were looking initially, I could see a huge column of purple, and it was moving in a different way to ours do. But maybe that was just the energy center where we were. It was moving in a huge column upwards. And then when Dale began to talk, and I could see from Dale's perspective, and then I just drifted off, and it's almost like I was in the Aurora Borealis. I was trying to bring myself back down into the room, but I just couldn't. And I was just became acutely aware of the spiritual mechanics of this planet.
If anybody'd like to leave a comment in the chat room, please go ahead. Now, your tour guide, which has many versions of me, says it's time for you to have the first grand experience here. He escorts you into a special dressing room where you'll be putting on something similar to a wetsuit. So it'll feel moist, very tight fitting to your skin, but it is designed to absorb light. It is a light suit on top of your skin suit that is a light being. So everyone, feel yourself putting on your light suits. Feel it sticking to your skin, helping you expand inside your body. As you get them on, information is uploaded into you how to operate this light suit, how to move up and down, left and right, 360 degrees. You have full control of your directionality. Okay? You'll be brought over to another place now. This is the next teleporter. You're going to be teleported into the North Pole Aurora Borealis to absorb light. You step onto the teleporter pad, and you appear on the other side, and your light suit starts to open up, gathering in the Aurora Borealis energy, bringing it to the surface of your skin, activating spiritual photosynthesis, connecting you to the ancestors of this world who greet you. Dale, what do you see?
So I'm standing, I can see the sun and feel the sun with the Aurora Borealis, and it feels like a dance. The Aurora Borealis is just dancing around me, and this suit I've got on is so familiar, and it's so easy to see and feel what it looks like. It's like weird scaly skin, but a rainbowy. It's really, really odd, and I'm just feeling the sun and all the kind of like, it feels like music's being played at me as well, not just the seeing. It feels like there's music from the sun being kind of like an orchestra coming at me. It's incredible.
Okay. Laura?
Yeah, it's interesting Dale mentioned music, because I wanted to say that this light suit was, the only way I could really describe it was like music on the skin. It just had that sort of frequency that I'm wearing, not wearing a musical instrument, just wearing music is what it feels like. And it's that most exquisite music, like we heard in the hotel. And
Wonderful.
again, the moons are more present to me here too. There's something about the moon, the interaction of the light suit with the moon, which is and the Aurora Borealis, which it all is interrelated to how this light suit, this music light suit operates.
Mm-hmm. Maddie?
I'm blissing out. So as I connected to the suit, once we'd gone across, I was just a little bit hard to speak. Once we'd got across, there was a big sort of assimilation into the energy, and my third eye area is just lit up, and the ancestors came around. There's lots of these sort of like bald-headed beings. The skin looks kind of a blue colour, and they're all together like this, all with their hands over each other's shoulders, and they're in circles, and they're doing this kind of side-to-side dance, but they're actually singing while they're doing it, and that's why I'm getting the music. It's almost like a chorus, and it's just building and building and building. It's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. It was just reaching a crescendo just as you spoke to me.
Okay. So everyone, you are now having your full light suit experience. You all called back to the teleporter, brought back into the domed building. These light suits are a gift from this world to you. They will go home with you, and anytime you want to visit the Aurora Borealis of any world, this light suit will help you integrate to those places and spaces. It's a gift from these people there. You are now going to go to the next part of your tour. You are led into a elevator type thing, but it's open, wide. So there's not a shaft. And as you're going down and down, you see layer after layer, just giant internal structures, massive crystals, trees, buildings, realizing this is a mega city with billions of people that live in it, who always get to share the Aurora Borealis. You were brought into something that is like a mall food court and escorted to like a bar seat area. Kind of looks like a sushi bar from our home worlds here. Each of you has an individual chef in front of you. This is holographic food from this world. Each of you is going to be given a serving of food. It appears on a plate in front of you, made by the hand of a master of calligraphy, and a master of human and intergalactic experiences. This food is just as much of an experience of light as it is of taste, sound, touch, texture. It looks like a piece of sushi, like a fish on the top, a rice in the center. Take a bite of it. What does it taste like? Knowing that it's made of light, just like the light you were in. Dale, what does it taste like for you? Or your experience with it?
So as I'm getting it, it feels like there's a lot of prayer being put into this food. And as I'm eating it, it feels fresh, not like salty sea, but I can feel the essence of the sea and the water and the ocean within it. And it feels like it's completing a circuit within me and giving me just such a nice, I'd say, loving feeling through up and down my spine, through my body. It feels like a bit of an energy treatment as I'm eating it.
Hey, Laura, what about for you?
Again, if you could eat sound, that's what this is like. It's soft, it's expansive, it's like explodes. I can't really get any taste. I just get this feeling of explosiveness and lightness and expansiveness of this dish. Like it's just so full of something.
Beautiful. Maddie, for you?
So what they served me was different to what you described, but
you got your usual.
Yeah,
you've been here before.
Yeah, they actually the server put their hand over it and turned it into the sushi just to show me, and then took their hand away and it went back to what they originally served me. So it's just showing that, look, whatever it looks like, we can make this into what it needs to be. And so it was 2 white layers with a kind of yellowy golden layer in the middle, just a square. And when I ate it, it just exploded into energy in my body, and I could feel it, and it went all throughout my whole aura, like Dale was saying. It was just like, first of all, like taking a really benevolent drug, and then a healing. I thought it was going to take me somewhere at first, but it didn't. It just pressed out like a beautiful energy healing.
Okay.
Can I just
go ahead.
Could just add as you were saying that, Martin, before you were saying that, was I could see flowers. So as I ate it, flowers started coming into my stomach and all my body and like growing. So I could see all different aspects of flowers being grown. Really cool shit.
Very, very cool. All right, so that's the first part of your meal. That is the welcoming meal to this world. Okay. Now the second part of the second course here is a bowl of liquid light soup. But there's hard pieces of light in this liquid light soup. It is a spicy and yet smooth, creamy yet tart. It is a unique experience with every micro sip you should take is full of experiences of the love of 1 billion mothers making soup to heal their children. From 1,000 to 100,000 different worlds of the most ancient grandmothers making soup for their loved ones. This is known as the great grandmother's soup of love. Allow yourself to take a sip of it. Feeling the love of the 1 million grandmothers. taking away any sickness, any hardship, any heart pain. You feel the grandmothers put a shawl around you with each sip, as if you're on a perfect porch, watching the universe go by. You hear the wisdom of the grandmothers come into your tip of your tongue, reminding you it'll be all right. Dale, what do you feel? What do you experience here?
So as you first said it, I could see like a layer of skin across the top, but I wouldn't say it's skin. It's kind of like a parmesan, hard parmesan texture. And as soon as I ate that, it alchemized into me and sent a pulse of light all the way through my stomach and all around my body. Then as I started to drink the soup, there was different feelings coming through me and different levels of love within me, which I've not really felt before like that. There was just pure alchemy going on and within me as I was drinking it, and the more and more I drank, it was really, really cool.
Laura?
Yeah, I can feel the love of the grandmothers, which again makes me quite emotional, because it's making me, on one hand, feel very childlike and cared for. With this soup, looks nourishing even before I've tasted it. The energy coming off of it is nourishment, energy. And so it makes me feel, on one hand, very young, but also very ancient. It's like a soup for everyone, for the grandmothers, all the ancient grandmothers, to give you their not just the nourishment, but their wisdom that has been passed from planet to planet and been through the stars, and all the stories. It carries all the stories of the ancient ones, and it's like a remembering. Drinking this soup is like having a remembering, and giving me visions of places I've been and places that I know.
Beautiful. Maddie, for you?
Very simple but very deep experience. It just feels like unconditional love, just condensed unconditional love with no strings attached to it, and it's just a beautiful feeling. It's very simple but very complex, because the non-agenda side of it, it's beautiful. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. It just feels just like love. It really does, just pure unconditional love.
Beautiful. Okay. So your soup is cleared away, and your next meal is going to take a few minutes to prepare. While your meal is being prepared for you, they put a small little booklet in front of you of all the wonderful things to do on this planet. To be a tourist of this place and space. History of this world. Places where they go and build ships. Their sports stadiums. Their culture. Their music. Their movies. If you had a few minutes to absorb some of this wisdom from your book, a tray is put in front of you, and there are 2 plates on the tray. There is, how do I describe this? Something made of sacred geometry, 2-dimensional yet 3-dimensional, solid but not solid. Lines like Metatron's cube. That is on the first plate. And on the second plate is something that looks like a mousse. It's multicolored. So the chef gives you an instruction. You're going to use a very special type of spoon. This spoon, when you put it into the sacred geometry Metatron's cube, will grab a sample of the sacred geometry, suspended in the spoon, and then you're going to dip it into the mousse, and the mousse is going to be suspend its flavor into the sacred geometry, which is going to go onto the tip of your tongue. That's going to go down the tongue and into the heart and activate the Metatron's sacred cube in your heart and spread to your body. But this is a flavor, taste-based experience. The chef gives you instruction. Let this be a taste experience. Many of you will want to go to the other realms of experience, but allow this to be a pure taste experience. Taste can have vision. It can have all sorts of other things imprinted to it, but let it be a taste-based experience. You take your special magic spoon and dip it into the three-dimensional sacred geometry Metatron's cube. Grab a big sample of it. Then you dip it into the mousse. And as you bring it to your tongue, let down expectation. Let down doubt and worry. And let this be a taste experience. Dale, what's a taste experience like for you?
So as I'm tasting it, I saw the Metatron cube, but for me it was spinning, it was moving around. So I then brought it over to the mousse, and it felt like just a river going through my mouth down into my heart, and it was just pouring this really high frequency going into my heart and clearing the heart as it did it. And it released all aspects of expectation, fear at all. It was like as I was eating this, there was just full knowingness of the alchemy of it. And it felt like I say, the waterfall energy coming from my mouth, slowly dripping down into my heart and activating it.
Okay, Laura, for you?
Yes, I can see the liquidness of it, like a golden river. So like a nectar. It's almost like a honey. It's the nearest thing I could think of how it is tasting, and it seems to be something that seals and mends and brings things together, brings two halves together, or brings unity. It's like a unity liquid.
Beautiful. Maddie, for you?
So the geometry part tasted of not much very, actually it was more sort of colour, but the mousse was a tart sweet. It was difficult for me to actually taste it. I had to have a few spoons before I could actually get the taste come in. That took a little bit longer to get in, but it was at first it was something akin to raspberry, but it's not. It's different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're now given your next instruction with this meal. Tap the plate with the sacred geometry on it, and it'll become a new sacred geometry shape. Pick one. Pick the shape you want to taste, and then dip it into the mousse and taste it. Allow yourself to have a sample of as many pieces of sacred geometry in the form of taste. This is a culture of this world, and I want to bring you this teaching specific to you so that you can taste the sacred geometry of every world that you go to. There's a great wisdom in tasting the geometry of light and allowing it to be a unique experience that you carry with you throughout your journeys of time and space. Let those experiences mean something to you. Dale, what did you get with your next taste of sacred geometry?
So mine went into like a star dodecahedron, and as I tasted that, I went over to the mousse, and for me it tasted like a metal, but it wasn't like a disgusting metal. It was like an antibacterial metal, and as I drank it, as I ate it, it was clearing any poisons and bacteria within me. it was fully going into all of the bacteria and clearing it. Really, really cool. I've not really witnessed anything like that before.
Wonderful. Laura, for you?
It feels like I need to taste all these shapes, and within me is the desire to do it so that I'm adding to my own light hologram these different holographic shapes, so that I'm building up layers and layers of different experiences that I have had at one time but are now coming back to me in a form of remembering. So it's like a wisdom build up for me, and each one will have a different flavour of the different flavours of experiences that I have had and will have.
Okay. Maddie, for you?
Excuse me. So first of all, I used a shape that's familiar to me, one that I use quite a bit, and then I was curious to see what others there were, and then they overlaid a different shape, so then I put my one over that one, and then as I ate it, it was almost like somebody knew the flavors that I really like, the things that really get me, and I just could taste a hint of that, just as if someone had tailor-made something that they knew that would just be perfect for me, and it just tasted like that. And then I got an awareness of the taste experience and the multidimensionality of taste.
Wonderful. So, you've now finished your meal. The chef gives you a handshake and a bow. You are assembled back as a collective tour of people again, and you're brought to another teleporter. Okay? You're going to be brought to one of their commercial districts to go shopping. The Multidimensional Bazaar that has 1,000 shops per square block. Think about it, 1,000 shops per square block, and you have 100,000 blocks of shops. Everything from every corner of the commercially explored space, products, services, antiques, everything one can think of is available at this multidimensional commercial bazaar. You are given something that appears to be like a credit card that has 500 credit units of exchange on it. Everything at these multidimensional shops are valued at 1 to 20 credits, and you have 500 credits to exchange. You are brought down the first street. You can see things that just are of amazing wonderment that remind you of the other worlds you've lived in. Shoes for insectoids, jewelry for rock-based beings, robes for beings made of mist. And then you're brought to one specific shop. This shop is the place of great remembering. It has lost memories of old worlds and places, furniture, jewelry. Allow yourself to tour this shop and let memories come back as you look at these objects that might trigger you of another place in space and time. Dale, what do you see?
So as I first went into the shops, I saw a suit from Alcyon in like a glass, in kind of like a glass frame. Then as you went into other things, I could pick up like an Avaran type shop, and as I went in, I just felt like almost a burst of overwhelmness, not overwhelmness, but it was love, and there was like all these different things to add onto your back, which had more hands, and there was like a huge rainbow type looking really tall, high suit, There was just loads of different experiences, and as you said that, it felt like a triggering of remembering something. So
that was their psychic surgery shop.
Yes. It was like there was a suit which could add more stuff onto it. Like you could slide into the hands as well, could get into it nicely. But all these suits were really tall. They weren't small. They were like really tall fucking things.
Okay. Laura, what do you see in your bizarre shop?
My bizarre shop is full of like ancestral seats of all different kinds. So there's one that looks like it's made of ice, and it's decorated with, it looks like crystals, but I don't know they are. They're continually moving. Everything is moving. It's just so beautifully decorated with like, looks like it's a really soft cushion of air almost that you sit on. Then there's hanging chairs that are hanging in the middle of nowhere, round ones that you can just sit in and be surrounded by the same walls of light that there were in the hotel again, and chairs that are literally are musical chairs. So like when you sit in them, they play different types of music, so you sit in a different chair depending on what type of music that you want to have around you. But that the music is also related to the actual structure of the chair, and the suit you're wearing at the time triggers something within the different chairs, so that you recognize your ancestral homeworlds.
Beautiful. Okay, Maddie, what about for you?
So when I first went into the shop, they decided to mess with me for a bit. So I was in a room that looked like lots of timber. It smelt like wood, and there was an old man stood behind a counter and a humanoid. But I knew this was a hologram. But they just kept me there for a while, and I was just waiting. And then eventually I just said to him, "Well, can I go in?" And then the old man slapped the hammer down on the table, and I was in. It was something of a joke. And then I was instantly taken to one object, and it was like a globe. So when I say a globe, I mean actually like I think it represents a planet. And it initially was blue, it looked like an ocean with one sort of sandy yellow area on it. But then, and it's on a simple base that looks like a crystal structure, but it's beautiful, crystal clear, like I can't explain it. A solid piece, but it does that like hourglass shape, but yet cylindrical, and it just rests on it. But as I've been looking at this object, it keeps changing colours. The landmass on the planet stays the same, but the colours are slowly changing. It's a beautiful object.
Okay. I want all of you here to buy an item here. You have 500 credits. You have 500 credits on your card, and everything costs 1, 2, 5, 10, or 20 credits. You have plenty of credits to buy something. Put it in your little multi-dimensional shopping bag, and you're now going to be led down this promenade, and you see thousands upon thousands of other beings, every shape and size you can think of, all shopping at this multi-dimensional bazaar. Some people look at you, oh, that's a human. What do you see in the crowd of people? Dale, what do you see in the crowd of people shopping just like you?
They're quite surprised to see a human, but they're very happy at the same time. And it feels like that shopping mall vibe, just quite a lot of noise, but a good noise, healthy, happy noise. That everyone's excited and everyone's shopping, and I feel like I'm welcomed. And there doesn't feel like any kind of negativity at all. Like when you walk through a shopping mall, you sometimes feel a bit strange. So yeah, feel really good.
Hey, Laura, for you.
There's yeah, it feels really good, and there's this low vibrational hum the whole time in the background, which I'm not sure whether that's all the different frequencies of all the beings there creating the really beautiful feeling from walking. I do feel like I've been noticed because of being human, but there's a great deal of warmth and welcoming and just general joy that from all the beings there. There's so many different shapes and sizes, and because I'm so like amazed and obviously happy to be there, that they are responding with that energy as well, which then lifts the frequency even more. So it's just a very beautiful experience walking, very, very peaceful as well.
Maddie, for you.
I drew quite a lot of attention. I was trying to make my way to a bar that I know, and then there was a few beings on the street, but one of them was quite interesting. One of them looked like a giraffe, and then there was another one that come up to me that was almost like aquatic looking, but just in the air like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you guys are brought down the street, and now you are brought to something that is like a video store. Old videos of television shows from other worlds. Okay? Let yourself browse what's on the shelves. Of all the different worlds, entertainment. Like an ancient Blockbuster. Dale, what do you see at the ancient Blockbuster of all the worlds around?
So as I'm walking to the Blockbuster, the Galactic Blockbuster, I'm accompanied by two of these beings, and it's like I know them, and I've known them before, and there's just a very familiar, loving feeling from them. And before, as I was speaking to them, speaking to the people around me, there was such a love for being here, and there was such a love towards me, and it was incredible. Then as I walked to the Blockbuster with these two people, not people, but two beings, really tall beings, as I'm seeing it, it's just loads of the videos are like light. It's just a hologram, like kind of loads of different aspects of light, but they're all stacked up on shelves, and it's like an experience, but it's not a video, but it's just pure box of light. It's really, that's it. Yeah.
Box of light experience.
Yes.
Okay. Laura, for you?
So when you go in this Blockbusters, they are playing a bit like if you go into one of our TV stores with loads of TVs on showing different programs. So they've got different programs going on, and one of the ones some of the beings are standing round is like a comedy show where the rocks are telling a joke. And they're laughing and sharing the joke, whatever it is, with the rocks. And just watching rocks laugh is quite unique experience in itself.
Beautiful. Okay. Maddie, for you.
So when I first started looking, I saw something that is akin to their version of pornography. It wouldn't be the right word to describe it. But
the back room of the light store.
Yeah, they showed me the
Maty has to be there, doesn't he?
I was gonna say,
that's the first thing they showed
he's
me.
found it.
Yeah, the first thing they showed me, and then they're being very pushy. These guys, they actually want to show a narrative, so they're not allowing me to see anything by this one particular thing, which is and this is a couple of times they've been trying to make me talk about this. So I think they're trying to force a narrative here. But there was one that was about their own world, and it's a waterfall, some sort of a famous waterfall or some landmark or something that's very, very important to these people. And they just keep showing me it. So I'm just looking at and they've blanked all out the other ones, and they just keep showing me this one. And he keeps pointing his hand to it.
Okay. Can you try to translate the name of this video they want you to watch?
Dukkata.
Maddie does the waterfall.
Say that again.
Maddie does the waterfall.
Does the waterfall?
2 Maty, 1 cup.
All right, for everybody that's out there, rent a video. Okay? Go and experience a video. Okay? And you get to keep this video as an experience. It's the beauty of this type of shop. All right, so you guys are assembled by your Galactic Historian tour guides again. You are brought to another teleportation chamber. Okay? You're told you'll be able to come back and shop and spend the rest of your credits later. But there's more to the tour to be had. Okay? You're going to be going to the third moon. Okay? You're going to be teleported onto the surface of this third moon. This moon is an ancient historical archaeological site. It's where the first beings of light in this part of the galaxy made the first cultures. You go through the teleporter and you come out to the other side. It's a red surfaced world. And you can see buildings that have been dug out. Large, massive archaeological sites. Thousands upon thousands of other beings walking through the ruins. Your Galactic Historian tour guide brings you to your first set of rooms. It says it's time for you to experience the first cultures of this place and space, and the wisdom they've left impressed into these places and spaces for you to perceive, receive, and grow with. You were allowed to roam the tombs, the ruins, the pyramids, the underground structures, unrestricted access to this entire world, this entire archaeological world. Let yourself feel the ancientness of this place and why the cultures of the many different societies of light have assembled here in this solar system so people could experience the first ones and what they left behind as a legacy for all to grow with. Dale, what are you experiencing in this archaeological moon?
So as I'm walking, I could see myself walking, and just it's like this sand, red sand. Then I'm sat down and I can see actually people having different fires and some people dancing, but it feels like everyone's like planning here. This is a place people are planning what they're doing or where they're going and so on. And there's pyramids all around. It reminds me of something off Star Wars Episode 1 type thing. There's loads of different tunnels, pyramids, and ceremonial like chambers, and it's just a lot of, I'd say, sacred things going on as I'm walking around. There's ceremonies, there's people dancing, there's people doing all sorts of things, but then I can feel the underneath as well, a lot more than a solid planet. I can feel a lot of like gassy type stuff from below, and it's kind of like a mist below me, which is really cool. It's like I'm floating through the planet.
Okay, Laura, for you?
We're just like everyone on Earth has an individual fingerprint these very ancient beings who built these structures, which are still there, the remains of the structures, their energy imprint is almost like each one of them left almost like a handprint within all of the structures there. And in each of the handprint, it carries the stories of even more ancient ones who travelled the stars from the most ancient of universes, and the stories are carried forward in these like hand-like prints that have been left on the land and within the buildings. So this whole moon carries all the ancient stories of the most ancient of universes. So it can tell stories it can tell the ancient stories if you know how to read and tune into the handprint like energies.
Beautiful. Maddie, for you?
Well done, Laura. That was awesome. Yeah, so the first thing I saw was a huge, went into a room and it was like a large monument object that just looked like an acorn, something akin to an acorn. And then there was lots of ancient light language all written around on the walls. That was fascinating to me. And I kind of wanted to stay in that room, but it was the first room I went into, so I didn't want to go anywhere else. I didn't want to just stay there, excuse me. But then I was shown to the Great Pyramid, and it's this colossal pyramid with these beams of light coming out of it or going into it. I'm not sure which way it is, and this energy all coming out, and it's just vast. And then I just stood from the background and watched it. There was lots of different people, but it's just quite an incredible experience. Just the energy that's coming out of it to hold yourself. And then as I approached it and went closer, like Laura was saying, there's handprints, or if you could call that, because some people don't have hands, but whatever imprintation, were all around the side of this pyramid. And it's just going on for as far, it's just so colossal I can't even describe it. And so I just put my hand in and left mine there as well.
Wonderful.
And just sat on the ground and waited for you to speak.
Okay. So you're all back to being assembled. Okay. And now they're going to take you deep underground. Okay. You're brought to another teleport chamber. And this time you're 20 miles underground. You're in the hollow place of this moon. Similar to the hollow Earth, but its densities and dimensions are different. I want you to feel the even ancienter place that's here. There are runes down here that are here to give you wisdom. Time functions differently here. For every second you're down there is a week. You've already spent 3 weeks down there, 10 weeks down there, learning the entire time. You are transported back up after 15 weeks down there. Let those memories in. Dale, what did you experience in your 15 seconds down there?
So I could feel these like insect ant type creatures, and like looked like a bit like spider creatures. Then these snake creatures as well have their own kind of communities down there. And they were showing me how to work with fire in a different way, and many different aspects. Like they have different fires, different colours there as well. Not just the regular fire. There's all different aspects to it. Yeah, really cool.
Okay, Laura, for you, what did you experience in your 15 weeks down there?
They were showing me how universes develop and grow. So it's like if you've got a rolled up carpet made of very, very fine weave and you unroll it gradually, is and then it's like a tasseled carpet, so each tassel then divides and divides and divides, and these are all the millions and millions of existences that have already been in existence, and then showing how millions of more experiences are going to come into existence, and then how these are drawn together to form planets and stars, and just like it's of creation almost. I was shown a create.
Beautiful. Maddie, for you?
I spent my time with one tribe. Yeah, it was a good time. There was all sorts going on. It's hard to explain it. They look kind of humanoid, but they have the kind of like these long bits that come down at the back of the head. They wear lots of bright coloured paints, but for the most part they're naked. They live a very natural life of trees, waters, and all the immense life that's around them, ritual and ceremony. I got laid as well. There was all kinds of stuff going on. It was cool. Yeah, it took me a while to bring it back into linear time though.
Interesting. So everybody, you're now assembled back on your galactic bus tour. You're brought back to the surface of the archaeological dig. And now you're being brought to the south pole of Centaurus Prime. This is an industrial place where machines are made, ships are made, giant ships, small ships, everything one can think of. And you are brought to a yard that creates ships. You're introduced to a ship builder. Each of you have your own individual ship builder and designer. And you're going to give them your little galactic credit card, and they're going to build you a ship. Dale, what kind of ship do you want to build?
So this ship which is being built, it can transform. It's not only one shape. It can transform into a boat. It can transform into many different, this flying saucer looking really wide ship. Then it can transform into many different variations. It's not just the one. Yeah.
Okay, Laura?
Mine is like a tree ship. Looks like wood, but it isn't. And it grows extra, need more consciousness expansion.
Mm-hmm. Maddie, for you?
So my shipbuilder, he's an interesting looking person. He's like a cross between an insect and a walrus. But I have complete faith in him. I think he's good at what he does. And I asked for something more akin to a speeder, but something that's like a small, compact, that can go anywhere. Yeah, and I'll give him some design ideas, like how I want it to look.
Okay, so everybody,
spaceships.
Yeah. So everyone, talk to your spaceship designer. Fill out the inside. Okay. Do you want a hot tub in it? What do you want inside your ship? That's going to take you all over the stars. Okay. Let this ship designer impart wisdom into you. Okay. Dale, what kind of wisdom is he imparting to you about your ship?
By putting something what can produce a hologram at will. Like, so as I'm in the ship sitting down, it can be something manifested over me, or I can see a different reality or a different planet. So within the ship, I'm able to go to the beach, go swimming, do all sorts of different things in this ship. And it feels like there's a grid, and as I'm sitting with the kind of like all the dials and around me, it's kind of like a grid going through the actual ship itself, and it can do a different hologram whenever I want to go to a different area. It's like I've got anything I want at will. I can go to a nightclub. I can go driving. I can do anything in this. And now I can see a disco ball. I'm putting the disco ball on, and now it's a dance floor.
Wonderful. Laura, what about for you? What's your shipbuilder telling you?
He's telling me that I can put my intention and what I want down each branch of the tree, so each branch can have a different role for anything I need. I suppose a little bit like Dale's. You can think it and it will come into being. But the tree is a living conscious being too, so I can interact with it, and it can also produce fruit and different forms of food for me as well. And each branch can reach out and grow as much as I want it to. So all the time, if I need more space or need it to extend, it can do that. It can feel right into the outer space, if you like, and send back information to me. And it does work through its branches. It also works through its roots.
Okay.
They're sensing organs.
Maddie, what for you?
So this shipbuilder knows me. So first of all, it's just like a small cockpit. I really just want something simple and small, and it's all white inside, very comfortable. I can play my music. Anything I need to consume is within reach. It's just there. But then he showed me the importance. He said, no, but you need this. And so behind me, there's like a holodeck type area, very small again, but that is the infinite access. So that's where I can go to have experiences, but also, more than that.
All right, everyone, talk to your shipbuilder. Okay, let him impart some wisdom to you. After receiving this information, the shipbuilder tells you the ship will be finished being built in your next dream phase. And he gives you a set of dream keys to come back to your ship in dream time. It is now yours. Okay? You are gathered by your Galactic Historian tour guide once again and brought to your next teleportation chamber. This next chamber is taking you to the place of great wisdom, the universities of this world, the places of high education. Feel this education energy just permeating everything. Millions upon millions of teachers and way showers. You are brought to the admissions office. Pull out your little galactic credit card and pick a class. Dale, what class are you going to pick at the university here?
First thing what came up for me was a class how to multidimensionally like fish, which we've talked about before. how to fish properly, but fishing into different realities and universes. And there's lots of dragons around. As soon as I got there, it's like a huge circle with lots of things on the wall, looks like pictures, but light pictures. Then there seems to be like loads of different experiences and light experiences around this library. And the dragons are kind of like the keepers there, and they're I don't know if they're guarding it, protecting it. But as soon as I asked, it was just fishing, how to fish properly.
Okay. And you go and take your fishing course.
Yes.
Okay. Laura, what about for you?
So the course I'm going to buy is how to be a teacher of teachers.
Ooh.
So to carry forward the ancient wisdoms in a format that people or beings are able to absorb.
You go to your class and you learn from it, Laura. Okay. Maddie, what about for you? What class are you going to take?
So I was flicking through and the carpentry caught my eye. There was lots of multidimensional healing stuff and that, but there was a carpentry thing, and there was some special timber here, and that was what was coming. It was the energy coming from this particular timber that they were using on these courses. So I went in there and I picked a canoe building course. It's sacred building of a canoe with this special timber, so I can go back and visit my tribe and come in my own canoe.
Okay. So everyone, pick your class, go to your class, and let yourself experience it as a memory in light. You're once again gathered by your Galactic Historian tour guide, brought to your next teleportation chamber. This time, you're going back to the multidimensional bazaar. And you're giving yourself all the time to explore the many different storefronts that are out there. Spend every piece of credit you have. And at the end of this, you're brought back to your tour, brought back to the space station, and you're being back on your 5-dimensional bus pass, coming back to your minds, knowing full well you have a return ticket here anytime you want. Any final words you'd like to say, Dale, before you leave this realm?
Yeah. So as I walked around a little bit, there was this huge pond, and I got my fishing rod out and I hooked the line, but my other hand's got fishing rods and hook lines as well. So I was like, literally, as soon as they just opened up and there was 9 or whatever different fishing rods putting lines out into this water.
Okay. What about for you, Laura, and all the different multidimensional stores?
Yeah, I've got bags and bags of stuff, but it's just the messages of remember you are ancient. Remember how ancient you are. Just the messages I got.
Beautiful. Maddie, for you?
My greatest experience in my time there, just wandering around, was it sounds so cliche, but a healing chamber. But it's not the right way to describe it. It's like being suspended in light, and it was incredibly therapeutic. And I just didn't want to go. Actually, I was dragging my heels on the way out. I didn't want to go, and then I eventually made my way up to. Went up and was just overlooking some beautiful river and some trees as I was going up in this kind of escalator thing, and then in the room with all the listeners and everybody just waiting for the bus, and everybody's talking about their experiences, but I'm just sitting there with a bit of a sad face on.
Okay. Y'all come back to your bodies, come back to the show. Welcome to your first or second or third or infinite multi-dimensional potential experiences that you could have with the many different beings and worlds that are out there. If you should just be explorative and adventuresome enough to go and look in a different way. Yes, visit their bazaars, visit their universities, their archaeological places, the places that make that world unique. Okay? And this is a unique world. And know they want to come here and experience our places, just like you got to experience theirs. Wonderful experience. That was really fun to do.
Thanks, Andrew. That was great.
Yeah, it was cool.
Mm.
All right. Do we have any questions in the chat room? I can't see it through my phone right now.
We'll have a look.
Anybody having any experiences? We encourage you to go down to the chat room now and give us a comment, please. A like and subscribe and a comment if you can.
I like that comment. Can we create our own class? Like the ability
Yes.
to sculpt stone with our hands. That's lovely.
Yes, you can. This is the No Limits University.
No fees, no university fees.
Now there's a galactic energy credit exchange for life, energy for life force. Yeah. Instead of it being harvested from you.
That's nice from Janine Truman. I was drawn to an object that was left to me from my mentor, an ancient from the early civilization. The object was left for me to find again and again.
Beautiful. That's why I crafted this experience like that, because there are objects in space and time that have been left by us for us.
Have we been on this planet before? Because it feels really familiar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's let that experience settle for everybody. Let's call it an end to this show. Dale, give a way for people to get a hold of you.
So if you go on to daletobin.com, I do one-to-one psychic surgery sessions. I also do training psychic surgery. So if you want to become a practitioner and learn the skill set of psychic surgery, head on over to daletobin.com. I've also just opened up for my past life regression practitioner training, which I just will be putting all the full details on, but I'll be doing 2 people at a time, and you'll have 3 past life regression sessions included for personal growth. So yeah, thank you guys. What an honor again.
Okay. Laura, people wave or get a hold of you.
Yeah, Laura Massey, twofeathersmedicine.com or Laura Massey on my Facebook. I do sacred self-mastery sessions. I'm also an ancestral medium, so if you'd like to get in touch with your ancestors and you're not sure how, then contact me and have a session with me.
Okay.
Great show, guys. Thank you.
Wonderful. Maddie, give a way for people to get a hold of you.
Okay, guys, so if you, I do private sessions, healings or whatever's required in the moment. I use a plethora of different psychic skills in order to do this, so no 2 sessions are ever the same. If you need to get hold of me, you go to twofeathersmedicine.com, click on my name, scroll down, and there'll be a message icon, and you can send me an email that way. All my prices and everything are on the website.
Wonderful. You all know who I am. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, see our many products that are out there, and maybe give us a like and subscribe button. And we highly encourage anybody that is sharing this tour experience to go down into the comments and type in there what you felt, what you experienced, what you tasted in the different foods. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you driving your ship in the dream time.
Take care,
See you in
everyone.
the dream
Thanks,
time.
guys.
Thank you.
Aho, motherfuckers.
Healing comes in many forms, all the colors aligned. You are free as a dove when you choose, a sovereign state of being.
And allow this product to work with the 7 color chakras in our own energy system.
Meditations can trigger DNA wisdom and memories in light, out-creating our limited chemical memories. So sit back, relax, as we take you on a journey of light and colour.
Welcome everyone to the Scottish Highlands Galactic Historian What's Your Purpose tour. You're asking, what's my purpose? Your purpose is to go on this tour and discover the mystical, magical highlands and lowlands of Scotland. We'll be going from Edinburgh to Kirkwall, Inverness, all over the Scottish lands, as you can see on our incredible map. So I want to bring in Dale to talk about what is going to be included with this trip.
So what's included on this What's My Purpose tour, we'll get a chance to meet Andrew Bartzis, and we'll be able to ask him what our own purposes are, and we'll be able to ponder and try and figure this out in 10 days.
And each and every day, we will be driving and I will be talking about the histories of the places that we are passing and going to. And a part of these attractions are what we're including in this tour to make it the most memorable tour I've ever been on. Dale, what are the attractions and everything that's included?
A Scottish driver and also a guide. You'll have your own very luxurious Mercedes-Benz coach as well. It'll include all transport and ferries, 9 nights accommodation and 9 breakfasts and also dinner included as well. So for the attractions you'll get free entry to Dunrobin Castle and Gardens. You'll also be tasting the fine whiskey at the Highland Whiskey Distillery tasting, where you'll be able to see the spirits being made and created. And we'll be also getting entry to Scarabray, the Garrigan Blackhouses village, Callanish Standing Stones, which are so famous throughout the world. And we'll be also going entry to the Armdale Castle and Gardens, where we get the chance just to relax and walk around and just enjoy the scenery and the outside and the history. Also, we'll be going on a half-boat day trip to Stafford, and we'll be also going to entry to Iron Abbey.
This is your opportunity to take the pilgrimage with all of us through the Scottish Highlands, the 10-day bus tour around the Scottish Highlands. On the first day of the journey, of this 10-day journey,